Well, hello, how are you? Question today is, can you master completely the paralegal career and everything you have to do in it, all the nuances, before you actually land a job? Meaning, can you be completely prepared? And the answer to that is no. Might be surprising, but when you've worked other jobs, you know that you may be aware of certain things, but when you're in the thick of it, you become more proficient at all the little nuances within that career and that area of law or areas of law you're working in. And they're all so completely different from one another. You know, personal injury and automobile accident law may be a little similar, but there's a lot of differences too. So commercial/business law is completely different than workers' compensation law. So what one paralegal does in commercial or business law versus what a personal injury paralegal does, or workers' compensation or insurance defense law, completely different duties every single day. A document might be called the same. It might be a motion to compel, but it's not going to have the same information in the document, because we're talking about we're going to quote different law, we're going to say different things in those documents, okay? So, do you have to master this career before you dip your big toe into it? The answer is, it's really not possible. And this is, take it from one who's been in the field for 30 years now. This is my 30-year anniversary. And I started off as a legal receptionist, legal secretary, and all-around errand runner and file clerk. Answered a lot of the phones. It was the best way, one of the best ways to jump in. Not the only way. Most of my students don't jump in that way. They jump in as paralegals and go from there. So I have one today that is in an interview right now. And it's not anything close to that. It's just really incredible that once you step your foot into this water of the paralegal career, and you do your homework and you learn as much as you can, it will pay off. So you do not have to master your craft. The thing is, you have to be driven by your passion for the work that you're going to be doing, not the money, because you won't be making much money to start off with. And that's a mistake some people have made, thinking that, well, I'm in debt and I can't not make what I was making at my last job. But understand, that's not the criteria that the attorneys have in hiring you, because they know they have to give you time to learn some things. They know they're hiring somebody green. But what I help my students do is learn a lot before they step their foot into the water. So I'm going to read a quote to you. There is no passion to be found in playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. That's by Nelson Mandela. Doing the work you love has a significant impact on your well-being. Hi, Trish. Trish, I can't really answer that because that's up to the individual employer. You know, it's really nothing. It's not anything I can answer. It's up to them to decide. Okay. So think about what is your why. You can look at some of the a video I did recently about your why, knowing your why before you go into this field. If it's not driven by a passion for this, then I would say don't go into it, because then those are the wrong reasons. Okay. Yeah, I wish I could help you, Trish, but it is like law firm or employer by employer. So There's no like set rule book for that. So what are you being driven by as you look at this career? Is it that I have people that want to go into family law because they went through a lot of stuff. I have that in my own family where people went through divorce. They went through child custody issues. They went through visitation issues. They went through name changes. They went through all of this, and they want to be in that area, yet that may not be the area for you, ultimately. And what I hear people say is, well, I want to help people. But you can't really, you can be kind to people as a paralegal, the clients that come in, and be hospitable. But you cannot answer questions about law and what they should do. That's the attorney's job who has the law license. You do not have a law license and you are not an attorney. So don't go into it thinking I will be helping. You will be an administrative professional helping the attorney. So always keep that in mind. If you want to go into an area where you're helping people, it's not going to be the paralegal field as far as giving advice, because we're not allowed to. Attorneys give advice, okay? So maybe that you're destined to be an attorney. But I'm not allowed to give advice. People will ask me, even in my own church, and I don't like the word to get out that I am a paralegal in my church for that reason, because they don't know what a paralegal is and what we cannot do. And so you have to educate yourself as to what paralegals can't do. And if you want to see, go watch some videos on my YouTube channel called Paralegal Career Mastermind, and look and do a search on my channel for mistakes, and you'll see some interesting videos there, okay? Paralegal Career Mastermind, all right? And then my website is Paralegal Coffee Talk, just like this page, .com. Make sure, if you haven't heard me say this before, that you look up at the top of my website and look for the 19 alternatives. You'll see that. That's a complimentary PDF you can get. And then a free chapter of my book, Legal Break-In. And then a goals journal. Okay? So go to the website, paralegalcoffeetalk.com, and check it out. But I want you to be aware and be very clear on your why to go into this career and what is your passion. Are you passion driven or are you money driven? Money comes later in this career because you've got to add a lot of value for the attorney, okay? And all those things you learn on the job over a 2 to 3 year period will pay off, but they don't pay off in the beginning. So you have to make sacrifices financially to get into this career. Don't ask me what you get paid. It's not written in a book somewhere where you get paid so much an hour. This is law firm by law firm because they're running their own businesses. Law firms are usually private businesses. So they decide what they want to pay. Okay? And they don't go by any rule book. You know, they'll pay if they want to for somebody with a lot of experience, but a lot of people can't afford that. That gives you an opportunity to get your foot in the door. But you have to come with some knowledge, and that doesn't necessarily mean 2 years of school or a certificate. There are 3 ways to get into this. Sometimes I'll say 4 ways to get into this career. You could have a high school diploma and get into this career. Don't think I'm making this sound easy. I'm not. And then you could have a 2-year degree. You could have a certificate. You could have a 4-year degree in history and still get in this career. Okay? So, but I recommend that you check out my class on paralegalcoffeetalk.com and look for the Paralegal Inner Circle class info. Okay, you'll see that there. So, it's worth the sacrifice. That's my opinion. And it takes time. And is it a risk? I didn't find it a risk. It's just a risk of my time. That's not really a risk. Nobody's going to pay anybody $50,000 to $58,000 when you're first starting off. You'll see that as an average salary for paralegals. That's for somebody who's been in the field for quite a while. And you know, maybe that, of course, you'll get higher pay in LA or New York or Chicago, but they're not going to pay somebody with zero experience the same pay as somebody with 10 years experience will have. So you have to put in some time to learn your craft, and then you can, you know, start to work your way up. And there are various ways to do that. All right. So have a great one today. I hope this was helpful, or just a push to understand your why and make sure that it's your passion and not just thinking about money. I mean, for me, yes, that was my hope, but I didn't know what would happen when I first broke in, because I had zero legal experience, yet somebody hired me. And it's not because that was 30 years ago. I have students getting hired all the time. And I'm just not amazed by it. I'm proud that they were hired. But you have to know some things, some practical things, before you're able to sit down at that desk and help that attorney. And that's what we do every day. We are assistants to the attorney. We're not the attorney. Okay? All right, so have a great day. Any questions or comments, feel free. Thank you for your question, Trish. I wish I could be of more help. And just feel free always to ask questions on this page, and I will do what I can to answer them for you. And that is it for today. So have a great one. Have a good Wednesday night, and I'll talk to you in the next live video. Bye.